Where do we go when we sleep? What are dreams but echoes of trauma that we register beneath the black stillness of nothing? We are nothing. Sinister Narratives presents
L.A. Maids and murders. The moon hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows on the dimly lit streets of Los Angeles. My heart raced as I darted through the alleyways, desperate to escape the nightmare that had unfolded before me. My name is Isabella Sanchez, a well-known actress in my home country of Mexico, but a total nobody in Hollywood. Just another beautiful face amongst a crowd of dreamers, and I had just witnessed a murder that would forever haunt my dreams. The night had started innocently enough, a glamorous party, flashing lights and flowing champagne, but then I had stumbled upon a scene that shattered the facade of luxury and privilege. A man lay lifeless on the floor, blood pooling around him, the air thick with the stench of death. My breath caught in my throat, and I turned to flee, only to be seized by a strong hand that covered my mouth. My heart pounded as I was dragged into a nearby alley, the cool breeze doing nothing to quell the sweat that beaded on my forehead. "Keep quiet," he hissed, his grip like a vice on my arm. "You saw me, didn't you?" I nodded, unable to tear my eyes away from the man's cold gaze. He was the murderer, and I was the lone witness to his monstrous act. "Listen carefully," he growled, his voice dripping with malice. "You're going back in there, and you're going to pretend to be a maid. Understand?" Fear tightened its grip on me as I nodded again, my voice stolen by the horror of the situation. Back inside the opulent mansion, I donned a maid's uniform and tried to blend in, my heart racing with every step I took. I avoided eye contact with everyone, the weight of the secret I carried pressing down on me. But I wasn't as inconspicuous as I had hoped. The murderer's gaze found me, his lips curling into a sinister smile. My breath caught in my throat as he mouthed the words, "You can't escape." As the night wore on, I watched the other guests dance and laugh, their obliviousness a stark contrast to the darkness that clung to me. I knew that I was running out of time, that the murderer's threat was not an idle one. Hours later, as the party wound down, I found myself alone in the mansion's dimly lit hallway. I thought I had managed to slip away unnoticed, but the murderer's cold voice shattered that illusion. "Well, well, well," he sneered, stepping out of the shadows. "You thought you could escape, didn't you?" My heart pounded in my chest as I stared at him, his presence a suffocating reminder of the danger I was in. "You're going to clean up the mess you saw," he spat, his eyes burning with a malevolent intensity. "And if you even think about going to the police, I'll make sure you pay." With trembling hands, I followed him back to the scene of the crime, the room still stained with blood. My breath came in ragged gasps as I surveyed the horrifying tableau. "Clean it up," he ordered, his voice dripping with sadistic glee. I sank to my knees, my hands shaking as I picked up a cloth and began to scrub at the bloodstains. Tears welled in my eyes as I scrubbed, the weight of the horror I was erasing pressing down on me. "Good," he sneered. "Remember, I'm always watching." As he turned to leave, a surge of desperation coursed through me. I seized a nearby bottle of cleaning solution and hurled it at him with all the strength I could muster. The bottle shattered against his chest, the liquid splashing across his face. He howled in pain, stumbling back and clutching at his eyes. My heart raced as I seized the moment, scrambling to my feet and bolting for the door. The night air was cool on my skin as I sprinted through the streets, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I couldn't stop the tears that streamed down my face. Tears of fear, of anger, of sorrow. Days turned into weeks as I lived in constant fear, always looking over my shoulder, always wondering if he was watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. And then, one fateful night, I found myself cornered in a dark alley, his presence a chilling reminder that I was trapped in a never-ending nightmare. "You thought you could escape me?" he snarled, his voice dripping with malice. Tears blurred my vision as I stared at him, my heart heavy with defeat. "I told you you can't run from me," he hissed, raising a gleaming knife. and as the blade glinted in the moonlight, I realized that there was no escape from the horror that had consumed my life. The story would end here, in this dark alley, with a tragic and inevitable conclusion. I screamed my last scream.
Where do we go when we sleep? What are dreams but echoes of trauma that we register beneath the black stillness of nothing? We are nothing. Sinister Narratives presents, in a labyrinth of glass. If I die before I wake, let my soul find its refuge, and may my tormented spirit rest in peace. These were the words that echoed in my mind as I embarked on a journey through the darkest corners of the human psyche, a journey that would test the limits of my courage and sanity. It all began on a fateful night, when an old and weathered book came into my possession. Its pages were yellowed and brittle, its cover adorned with an intricate symbol that seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. The book had been passed down through generations, each family member reluctant to keep it for long. It was said to hold secrets that no mortal should know, stories of the supernatural and the unknown. Curiosity gnawed at me, and against my better judgment, I opened the book to its first page. The words that greeted me were cryptic and unsettling, a mixture of languages I couldn't comprehend. As my eyes lingered on the pages, a sensation of cold dread crept over me, as though a veil had been lifted, revealing a world beyond our own. That night, my dreams were plagued by visions of shadowy figures and ethereal whispers. I awoke in a cold sweat, my heart racing with an inexplicable fear. The book lay on my bedside table, its pages seemingly alive with an unnatural glow. I knew then that I had awoken something ancient and malevolent. Days turned into nights, and I found myself consumed by an insatiable curiosity. The words in the book began to take form in my mind, as if they were etched onto the very fabric of my thoughts. I became obsessed with deciphering its secrets, desperate to uncover the truth that lay hidden within its pages. As I delved deeper into the book's contents, I stumbled upon an incantation, a spell that promised to grant the knowledge of the beyond to anyone who dared recite it. The temptation was too strong to resist. Ignoring the warnings that echoed in my mind, I spoke the incantation aloud, my voice trembling with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The moment the words left my lips, the room plunged into darkness, and a chill swept through the air. A presence materialized before me, its form shifting and indistinct. A voice, both haunting and seductive, whispered promises of forbidden knowledge and power beyond imagination. "If you seek the truth, you must prove your devotion," the voice hissed, its words curling around my mind like tendrils of smoke. "A sacrifice must be made, a life for a glimpse into the abyss." My heart raced, and the weight of my decision bore down on me. The path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, but the allure of the unknown beckoned me forward. As I contemplated my choices, the voice grew more insistent, its words worming their way into my very soul. Days turned into nights once more, and I found myself wandering through the city streets, eyes vacant and mind clouded. I was no longer in control of my actions. An invisible force guided me, urging me to seek out a victim. The darkness within me surged to the surface, a maelstrom of conflicting emotions and desires. And then it happened. A fateful encounter with a stranger in a desolate alley. The knife in my hand gleamed in the moonlight, its blade poised to strike. I hesitated, the weight of my actions crashing down upon me, but the voice in my mind grew louder, drowning out my doubts and fears. With a swift, decisive motion, I plunged the knife into the stranger's chest. His eyes widened in shock and disbelief, and as the life drained from his body, I felt an indescribable rush, a twisted blend of exhilaration and horror. The deed was done, and I was forever bound to the darkness that had consumed me. As I stood there, bloodied knife in hand, the presence reappeared before me, its form taking on a more tangible shape. It grinned, a sinister smile that sent shivers down my spine. "You have proven your loyalty," it murmured, its voice dripping with satisfaction. "Prepare to witness the secrets of the universe." The world around me warped and twisted, reality itself unraveling as I was transported to a realm beyond comprehension. Visions of cosmic horrors and ancient entities flashed before my eyes, their incomprehensible forms etching themselves into my mind. I saw the true nature of existence, a tapestry of darkness and light, of creation and destruction. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the vision ceased, leaving me gasping for breath. I was back in my room, the book still open before me. The voice was gone, but its echoes lingered in my mind. I had glimpsed the abyss, and the abyss had gazed back into me. The weight of my actions and the knowledge I had gained bore down on me, an insurmountable burden that threatened to crush my sanity. The truth was more horrifying than I could have ever imagined, a truth that defied the boundaries of human understanding. And so, I write this account as a warning to those who may follow in my footsteps. If I die before I wake, let my story serve as a cautionary tale of the dangers that lie in seeking the unknown, of the darkness that can consume even the strongest of souls. May my words reach you, and may you heed their message. For once the door to the abyss is opened, it can never truly be closed again.